ఎవరి స్వరమైతే మనం ఈనాళ్ళు టీవీ ఛానల్స్లో చూస్తున్నాము వారిని ప్రత్యక్షంగా ఈరోజు దర్శించి వినే అదృష్టాన్ని మనం పొందుకుంటున్నాం. Now we request Usha Didiji to bless us with the divine sermon on the topic of inner peace in chaos, please.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Most beloved Supreme Fathers, divine children, my spiritual brothers and sisters who have gathered here today for this wonderful talk, that we will get something to know for our practical lives. To begin with, I'm reminded of a beautiful story, and I would like to tell this story to all of you. That once there was a king, and he made an announcement that I would like to have a picture on peace. So all the artists from his kingdom gathered together to draw a picture on peace. Everybody had beautiful visions of peace. When the painting was finished, the king was asked to look at all the pictures and to declare the first prize. So after going through all the pictures, everybody felt there was a very beautiful picture that was made by one artist, where there was a serene atmosphere, a beautiful lake, total calmness in the atmosphere. So everybody thought this picture would be the first prize. But to everybody's astonishment, the king selected another picture. And that picture was that there was a dark night and rains were pouring down. The wind was making so much of noise, and there was a very powerful waterfall that was falling on the rocks, making noise. He selected that picture. Everybody wondered why this picture. Then the king showed that where the waterfalls was falling, there was a small cave. And in the cave there was a bird sitting with its children, very peaceful. And then he announced, peace is not where there is nothing happening, absence of noise, calmness in the atmosphere. That is not peace. But in today's world, what we all aspire for today is, when there are a lot of chaoses going on in life, a lot of upheavals in our life, but during that time, if we can remain at peace, like those small birds, then it is said to be, yes, I have reached that state of mind where I can calm down no matter whatever is happening outside. So, in today's world, everybody wants that sort of peace. We are all aware that there are a lot of stresses going on around. We are living in an age of uncertainty, where there are lots of fears around us. And coping with all of them, where we are able to keep our state of mind so peaceful and calm, it requires a lot of strength that we all need from inside. And those people who are reactive in small things also, they cannot experience that peace within. On the cards that you received, the invitation, it was written, come explore and experience. We need to explore within ourselves. In today's world, people have explored the outer world and come out with so beautiful things. But within us, there is another world, and that world is still unexplored. Just as there is a vast world outside, similarly, there is a vast world within us also. Unexplored, undiscovered. There is immense potential within us also, which needs to be tapped and brought out in our practical actions, in our practical lives. But if we are not able to function on the basis of our inner potential, although the potential is lying there, but it's of no use to us. So we need to explore that. And the second thing is experience. How do we get experiences? It is always seen that when a science student is taught theoretically in his class, but when he is taken into the lab, where he would experiment whatever he was taught theoretically. And when he experiments it, then he realizes and says, wow, this was so wonderful. I never thought about it. Before the experiment, his mind was confused, maybe stressed, because he was not able to find out, will it really work? There were a lot of questions in his mind. But when he performed that experiment and he experienced the results, all that stresses were gone. Similarly, in the laboratory of our life, we also need to experiment. Experiment with what? Experiment with spiritual wisdom. Apply that spiritual wisdom in our practical lives, in each and every action that we are performing, and we find there are beautiful results that we experience when we say, wow, I never thought about this. It gave us such a beautiful experience. So, this is the need of the hour. Because there are living in this age of uncertainty, anything can happen at any time. And we need to prepare ourselves with all the consequences. And we need to have the right spiritual wisdom to be applied. So that when it is applied, we get a beautiful result. So which are those tips of spiritual wisdom that we need to apply? In today's world, we all experience that there is a lot of stress that people are going through. And how to eradicate this stress from life? It's a great challenge. Because we find our inner potential is just draining constantly because of this stress. And although we have the potential to do the impossible possible, but it's not working. Because of the stress, we apply sometimes in a wrong way, or we forget to apply, so we don't come out with the results that we have expected. Small children, when they have exams and they come home and tell their parents, tomorrow is my exams and I'm feeling so stressed. And seeing their stress, the parents are double stressed. And we try to calm down that child, everything will be okay. Don't worry. Don't generate negative thoughts. Don't doubt your potential. You have immense potential. We try to motivate with such words because we know that if during stress it is generating thoughts of doubt, thoughts of confusion, and thoughts of negativity, then maybe although he knows the answers, but still his performance will not be accordingly. So we motivate. Similarly, in today's world also, when everybody is going through the stress, there is no one to motivate anyone. And every time we find people are sometimes trying to create a fear within us. What if this would happen? What if that would happen? And it lowers down the mental state or the potential, the mental potential of the person and his performance is not to the optimum level. So, how do we motivate ourselves? There's nobody who can motivate anyone. It has to come from within. We need to motivate our own self. And how can we do that? When we realize our potential and then remembering God, the Supreme, who has blessed us with so beautiful qualities. Let me use those qualities, experiment with it, and we find that there is a difference that we can make. Whenever you come to the programs of Brahma Kumaris, there is one word that we hear in the beginning of every speech maybe, and in the end also. And that one word is Om Shanti. What does the Om Shanti word mean? What does it mean? Om, this word has 3 letters, A-U-M. In Hindi also it is mentioned A-U-Ma. Om. A stands for action, A for acharan, U stands for utterance, U ucharan, and M stands for mind, Ma man. These are the 3 capacities that we have: to think, to speak, or to express, and to practically perform. But if we are not at peace from within, then all of these are not going to function well. They will create a confusion within us, which will take us away from being successful. So, Om Shanti is a word of self-awareness. It's not a word like hello, hi, good morning. It's a word of self-awareness where I come into this awareness. Are my thoughts in alignment with my words? Are my words in alignment with my actions? When all the 3 are in harmony, we are at peace inside. There is no stress. The stress is because they are not in harmony with one another. Sometimes we have good thoughts, but when we go to express, something else comes out. And then we have to say, I'm sorry, please try to understand. Don't just look at my words. Try to understand my feelings. So very clearly we are trying to say, my feelings are not in accordance with my words. And so please do not misunderstand me. When I can say sorry, then it is okay. But supposing that person leaves, and afterwards we realize whatever I said is going to create a great misunderstanding. Just imagine the stress that starts accumulating inside, the chaos that the mind is experiencing. Now, how to find that person, how to tell him, these were not my intentions, I didn't mean that. So many thoughts. We get into a jungle of thoughts. And realizing the consequences of that misunderstanding, we get so stressed. There is fear that is accumulated, and we do not know what to do exactly afterwards. So there is chaos inside. Then we come into actions, something else happens, and then we say, I never thought about this, how did it happen? So very clearly, we thought something else, we spoke something else, and we practically did something else. So there was no harmony. And when there is no harmony, no peace. How can peace be experienced when there is no harmony inside? So Om Shanti means, let me align all my inner systems, inner mechanisms in a beautiful manner so that they function in a harmony with one another. What I think, I feel, I perceive, my attitude should be such, my words should be in alignment with my attitude, my behavior, my actions, all has to be aligned. If the three are in alignment, the others can be managed. But if the three are not in alignment, the subtle aspects create more confusion within us. So this is the first step. As you have seen, all the BK brothers and sisters, whenever they meet, they greet with this word Om Shanti. Means, my thought, word and action are in alignment. And when the response comes, yes, Om Shanti, yes, my thoughts, words and actions are also in alignment. What a beautiful feeling is generated. And there is a harmonious relationship that is created. So, our original culture, the spiritual culture, teaches us something very high. That first of all, calm down your thoughts, words, and actions. Be aware of the quality. If you are aware of the quality, then everything will be beautiful. Once there was a Guruji, and the Guruji wanted to go out for further penances. So he called for his disciple and he said, look, I would like to go out to the Himalayas and do deep penances. But when I'm not here, I want you to take care of this ashram. Is it possible for you to take care of this ashram? So the disciple said, yes, no problem. I think I can do that. The Guruji was happy, so he said, okay. Day after tomorrow, I'll leave in the morning. Tomorrow I'm here the whole day. If you want to ask me anything about the administration or about the ashram, you can do so. So that night they both went to sleep. The next day morning, when the disciple got up, he thought, let me go and ask Guruji regarding what is it that I have to pay attention to most in his absence. So he goes up to the Guruji, but it was the day of silence for the Guruji, Maun day. So anyway, when the disciple came, the Guruji said, okay, I'll write it down. Whatever you want to ask, I'll write it down for you. So the disciple asked, Guruji, what is it that I have to pay attention to most in your absence? Can you guide me? So the Guruji took up a piece of paper and and wrote a word on it. And the word was awareness. Gave it to the disciple looked at the word and he said, "Oh, I think that's easy. I just have to be aware, constantly keep awareness." He was happy. There's nothing much to do, to follow. So he came out of the room, but as he was looking at that piece of paper again and again, there was a lot of confusion that was created inside. And so, he thought the Guruji did not elaborate this word. I think he should have elaborated this word. Awareness regarding what? He didn't write anything before, anything after. So he again goes to the Guruji and says, "Guruji, can you please add something before, after?" So the Guruji again takes that piece of paper, adds one word before and adds another word after. The word, and I think it would be perfect. Everything will be manageable. So he feels very happy. And again he looks at that piece of paper. He starts getting confused. Guruji wrote this same word again and again. And he says, "Guruji, awareness, awareness, awareness is equal to what?" So again Guruji takes a piece of paper and writes, "is equal to awareness." The message was very simple, but the disciple was not able to follow. What Guruji meant was, he had to be, when he was in a responsible position, looking after the administration, which many of us here might be in this. We have to be constantly aware of the quality of words that I speak. We have to be constantly aware of the quality of my behavior with others. Each and every way and each and every step, those who are in a position, in a responsible position, in order to avoid chaos, they have to be disturbed when my actions, my utterance, my words, my thoughts are not quality. It has some of the other weaknesses connected to it. Either there is anger, either there is ego, either there is hatred, jealousy. When all these are connected, that disturbs my complete inner peace and brings me first of all in peace. So the first step is how to maintain. 10% is from outside, but 90% of the chaos is created by us because we lose our equilibrium. That is why. Otherwise, peace is our true nature. What do you all feel? Are you comfortable when you get angry? Are you comfortable when you are peaceful, relaxed? What do you feel? Where are you comfortable? Anyone? When are you comfortable? When you are angry, you feel comfortable? Or when you are relaxed? Stress lifts up that smiling child, he forgets his stresses also. The aura is such that charges us also. So each and every being, when we took birth on this world, we were fully charged with all the potential, all the positive qualities which a child radiates, and that is why it attracts. It is like a magnetic personality. It attracts everyone. But as we grow up, we move away from our original magnetic qualities, those positive qualities. And instead of those qualities, peace, happiness, love, purity, wisdom, we move away from them. And when we move away from them, then that is when I become disturbed, upset, irritated, anxiety, fear, all these weaknesses come in the place, which drains us from that spirituality. And therefore my spiritual immunity is. And we start thinking negative. And my friend advises me, you are giving me a very good piece of advice. Now what has happened to you? Or do we say, my case? So we find that our inner peace gets disturbed. Our inner coolness, the calmness gets disturbed when my spiritual immunity, no positive energy left, no positive state of mind is left, and therefore we get disturbed. Not realizing that in this entire creation, there is everything that has a meaning behind it. Whatever happens. And he was sharing his experience. And he shared that when he completed his MCom, he got a beautiful job in a bank as an assistant manager, and he was very happy. He said, I was so comfortable that people, after they get their degrees, they have to roam around looking for jobs. How lucky I am to get a job immediately as soon as I completed my studies. I was so comfortable, looking forward that if my performance is very good, I'll definitely get a promotion, and slowly and gradually, as I get my promotion, I will be getting good packages of salary also and everything. Very happy, very satisfied. But within a year, something in the newspapers everywhere, this person has done a big scam in the bank. Every newspaper's headlines. And he was not knowing about it, anything. He was nowhere involved, but he had no proofs to prove himself that he is not responsible for all of this. And forcibly, he had to give a resignation, resign. Now whenever everybody started consoling him, doesn't matter, you'll get a better job, you'll be okay, don't worry about it. Everybody was trying to console him. But he was not happy. He said, that which I have not done, I'm totally unaware of it. How can the whole... No, sorry, we don't want anyone like that in our place. And he was not able to justify himself that I was not at all responsible. And whenever he heard those words, it really affected him. Gradually he was getting so irritated. There was a lot of chaos inside, and he did not know how to handle himself. And that is what is hurting me so much. And I'm not able to come out of this whole chaos. Mentally also. So the friend said, okay, doesn't matter. Till you get a new job, you can do one thing. You have always been a bright student. Throughout your school life, your college life, you always put first. You always passed with beautiful marks. I was not even as brighter as you were. Why don't you do one thing? Why don't you fill up this IAS form? Until you get a new job, you can give up this studies. But at least your mind will be diverted from what you are going in. Seeing my potential, God was not happy with what I was comfortable with. I was thinking, this place is very comfortable for me. But He was not happy about it. And He had bigger plans for my potential. Seeing my potential. I underestimated myself. But He evaluated me in the best way. And He knew my place was not there. And I wouldn't leave that job until something would really big happen. So this big thing had to happen with me. So we'll end up there. But when we focus our energy in a meaningful channel, when we focus our energy in the right direction, although something big may have happened, which seems to be very bad, but still, let me realize God has something great for me. He has beautiful plans for me. And when I am able to realize that, I will be able to make efforts in that direction and I will reach the heights with great peace and great ease. So, being peaceful, even in chaos, remembering this spiritual wisdom and practically applying it, hey Arjuna, whatever has happened for the good. Whatever is happening for the good, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen for the good forever. I don't have to worry about anything. I do not have to generate negative thoughts about it. But let me generate positive thoughts, meaningful thoughts, realizing something great is going to happen. We all remember that story of Akbar and Birbal. That once Akbar and Birbal were going out hunting. And suddenly when he was shooting his arrow, Akbar cut his small finger. And Birbal mentioned, whatever is going to happen, this is for the best. So Akbar got very angry. So my finger has got cut, it is bleeding, and you say something good is going to happen? Are you out of your mind? So he was literally so angry that he said, I don't want you from today. He told his soldiers to take him and put him in jail. So they took him and put him in jail. Now the king was left alone because he sent the soldiers also to put him into jail. And he went on hunting and he forgot the road to come out. It was evening time. The jungle people were looking for a offering for the Devi goddess. It was a festival for them. So they wanted a human offering to be offered. The king was in his ordinary clothes. They did not understand he is the king. They didn't even know who the king is. So they caught hold of him and he said, now, today you are going to be offered. It is our festival and we shall celebrate. You will be the offering to the goddess and she will bless us. So, the king, he could not speak. And he was in so much of chaos. Now what will happen to me? My life will come to an end. Nothing is going to come out. If I shouldn't have sent Birbal. Birbal, if he would have been here, he would have found out some way to get out of this whole situation. But now that he's gone, my life is also going to come. So he was regretting. He was thinking negative. He was like at the end of his life. And then, as they took him, they decorated him to be offered. And the Pandit saw that he does not have a finger. His finger is cut. So he said, this is not a complete offering. Let him go. So when it is not a complete offering, so they released him. And then he realized why Birbal said, whatever has happened for the good. If this finger wouldn't have cut, today I was going to be offered completely. But then he goes back to his palace and asks for Birbal to come from the jail. And he said, look, now I realize what you said. The meaning behind your words, now I realize. But I don't understand one thing. That I gave you punishment. What was good in that? So he said, that was the good, that you gave me punishment. Because if I would have been with you, you were an incomplete offering. I was a complete offering. They would have offered me to the goddess, and it would have been difficult for me to survive. So it was good you said those words. And you sent the soldiers with me, so we are all saved. Whatever happens, happens for the good. Whatever is happening for the good. So when this spiritual wisdom is applied, the stress is released, the chaos is neutralized, and just anticipate for whatever is going to happen. This is going to happen for the good. When I am able to apply this spiritual wisdom, then we see beautiful results. We can understand the whole plan of the Supreme behind this. So it is said, there is nothing that is a coincidence. There is nothing that is bad. To say something is bad and getting disturbed and bringing the mind under confusion and chaos, losing the inner peace, that shows Father's plan behind it. And so they create or take their life into such a direction from where it is very difficult to come out. So, brothers and sisters, in order to maintain that inner equilibrium, in order to maintain that inner peace within our own lives, let us experiment, create such thoughts, generate such vibrations, so that no matter whatever may come, but we are able to handle our lives in the most beautiful way. And the best way to do this is a few minutes of meditation regularly. Meditation, this word comes from a Latin word, mediri. And mediri means to heal thyself from within. To heal. How do I heal myself from within? On the basis of quality thoughts. It is due to negative thoughts that we damage our system. We bring chaos. We make our whole life chaotic. But if I am able to remain peaceful in my thoughts, calm down from inside, by generating those positive thoughts, then definitely we are able to handle our life in the best possible manner. So for a few moments, let us all sit in meditation, do some meditation. I'll be giving you some thoughts. You don't have to just repeat those thoughts, but try to go into the feelings and experience them, visualize them. The more I'm able to visualize, the more we'll be able to go into the experience of it. So for a few moments, let us all sit in meditation. Sit upright, back straight. And for a few moments, make your body tight. You can keep it relaxed but upright. Let me take my mind away from the external world and focus within. Just as there is a vast world outside, there is a vast world inside. And with my mind's eye, I visualize myself as a spiritual energy. A point of light. A spark of energy. Residing in the center of the forehead, like a shining star. This body is just like a costume that I put on to play my role on this world drama. But I am separate. I realize my true nature is peaceful. I am a peaceful being. I feel so comfortable being peaceful. I realize my true nature of happiness. I am a happy being. A loveful being, a pure being. These are my original qualities. With these qualities, I've come to this world to play my role. Through my mind and intellect. Now, I come back to that original nature. Stabilize myself in the consciousness, being peaceful. As I realize my true nature, my thoughts calm down. I am a beautiful being of light. I am blessed by all the positive potential, which are my true resources. To express myself being in this world. Such a beautiful feeling. This is my real identity. For a few moments, let us calm down our mind and stabilize in the true nature of peace. I can feel the energy.
Thanks. With great applause to Usha Devi for the inspirative talk on inner peace in travel. స్వరములు ఏడైన రాగాలు ఎన్నో, అడుగులు రెండైన నాట్యాలు ఎన్నో, అక్షరాలు కొన్నైన కావ్యాలు ఎన్నో, హృదయం ఒక్కటే అయినా సమస్యలు ఎన్నో ఎన్నెన్నో, జీవితం ఒకటే అయినా కూడా సమస్యలు ఎన్నో ఎన్నెన్నో. ఆ సమస్యలకు సమాధానం ఒక్కటే, అదే ఆధ్యాత్మికత. అద్భుతమైన ఆధ్యాత్మికతకు అందమైన పరిభాషను అందించినటువంటి ఉషా దీదీ గారికి ధన్యవాదాలు. संस्कारों से श्रेष्ठ बनाने वाले श्रेष्ठमयी, दृष्टि से पवित्र बनाने वाले पवित्रमयी, बोल से मधुरता सिखाने वाले मधुरमयी, कर्म से प्रेरणा देने वाले प्रेरणामयी, सेवा से नम्रता सिखाने वाले नम्रतामयी, अमृतमयी, आदर्शमयी, प्रेममयी, प्रेरणामयी, तेजोमयी, त्यागमयी, ममतामयी, मातृमयी అనేటువంటి ఉషా దీదీ గారికి ధన్యవాదాలు. వారి ప్రసంగం ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఉంది, కొందరికి అర్థం కాకపోవచ్చు. 2 నిమిషాల్లో దాన్ని నేను ఆ సంక్షిప్త సారాన్ని మీకు వినిపించాలనుకుంటున్నాను. ముందుగా చెప్పింది ఓం అనే అక్షరంలో ఉంది. ఆ ఊ మా అనేటటువంటి అక్షరాలతో స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఆ అంటే ఆచరణ, ఊ అంటే ఉచ్చారణ, మా అంటే మనస్సు. అంటే మాట, ఆలోచన, మన పని, ఈ మూడు కనుక ఎప్పుడు ఒకే విధంగా ఉండేటట్లయితే మనిషికి ఒత్తిడి తక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. ఆ ఒత్తిడి తగ్గాలంటే క్వాలిటీ ఉన్నటువంటి ఆలోచనలు మాత్రమే ఉండాలి. మనకు వచ్చినటువంటి ఒత్తిడిలో 100% అది మనకు మనమే కల్పించినటువంటి ఆలోచనల ద్వారా వస్తుంటుంది. 10% మాత్రం అదే బయట నుంచి వచ్చేటటువంటి ఒత్తిడి ఉంటుంది మనకి. అందుకే అంటారు మనకు వచ్చేటటువంటి అనారోగ్యాలు 170% సైకోసోమాటిక్ డిసీజెస్ అని అంటున్నారు. అంటే మానసిక ఒత్తిడి వల్ల వచ్చినటువంటి అనారోగ్యాలే మనకు వచ్చినటువంటి అనారోగ్యం. కాబట్టి మానసిక ఒత్తిడి దూరం కావాలంటే మన ఆలోచనలో క్వాలిటీ అనేది తక్కువగా ఉండాలి. మనకు కోపంగా ఉండేటటువంటి కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఉండదు, రిలాక్స్గా ఉంటేనే కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఉంటుంది అని అంటే అర్థం ఏంటంటే మన ఒరిజినల్ నేచర్ వచ్చేసి మనం రిలాక్స్ కావటం. అయితే మనం రిలాక్స్గా ఉండటం లేదు, మనం ఇతర ఒత్తిడిలోకి వచ్చేస్తున్నాం. దానికి కారణం ఏంటంటే మనలో ఆధ్యాత్మిక శక్తి లేని కారణం చేతనే ఆ విధంగా మనం జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఆధ్యాత్మిక శక్తి పెరగాలంటే ఏం చేయాలంటే దానికోసం వారు సూచన చెప్పారు. మనం ఎంతసేపు ఇతరులకు నచ్చ చెప్పడం అనేది జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఒత్తిడిలో ఉండేటప్పుడు ఇతరులకు నచ్చ చెప్తూ ఉంటాము. స్వయాన్ని ఎప్పుడైనా మీరు నచ్చ చెప్పడం అనేది చూసారా? స్వయాన్ని కనుక నచ్చ చెప్పడం కనుక జరిగితే మాత్రం ఇటువంటి ఒత్తిడి తగ్గడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. అదేవిధంగా అర్జున చెప్పినప్పుడు కృష్ణుల వారు చెప్పింది ఏంటంటే జరిగేది జరిగేది జరగవలసింది, అన్ని కూడా మంచిదే అని చెప్పేసి అని అన్నారు. దానికోసం 2 ఉదాహరణలు చెప్పారు. ఒక బ్యాంక్ ఎంప్లాయీ నుంచి కలెక్టర్గా కావటం, అక్బర్ బీర్బల్ సంగతి చాలా మందికి తెలిసిన విషయమే. దీంట్లో అక్బర్కి ఒక వేలు దిగిపోయేటుంటే అతనికి అడవి మనుషులు పట్టేసుకొని అతనికి బలి ఇచ్చడం పోతారు. అక్కడ అతనికి వేలు దిగిపోయింది కాబట్టి దానికి బలి ఇవ్వడానికి ఉపయోగపడ్డని చెప్పేసి వాపసు పంపించేస్తారు. ఏలు తెగిన కారణం చేత తలకాయ తెగడం తప్పించుకునే మనకు వచ్చేసాడు అక్బరు. కాబట్టి ఇవన్నీ మంచికే జరిగింది అనేటువంటి ఆలోచన. అందులో ముఖ్యంగా ఏంటంటే మెడిటేషన్ అంటే ఒక చక్కని భాషను చెప్పారు వీళ్ళు. మెడి అంటే అర్థం ఏంటంటే హీల్ అంటే నయం కావటం అనమాట. కాబట్టి మనం నయం చేసుకోవాలి ఏంటంటే దానికి ఆలోచనలో మంచి క్వాలిటీ ఆలోచనలు ఉండాలి. ఇది సంక్షిప్త సారాంశము. ఇంత అందమైనటువంటి సాయంత్రంలో ఇటువంటి సంధ్యా సమయంలో మనకి అందమైనటువంటి భాషతో మన జీవితాన్ని వర్ణ తెచ్చుకొని సంపన్నంగా మార్చుకోవడానికి కావాల్సినటువంటి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఉషాదిత్య గారికి ధన్యవాదాలు. వారికి మోటు వినిపించేలాగా మీరు చెప్పట్లేదు వారికి స్వాగతం పలకండి. ధన్యవాదాలు. ప్రొఫెసర్ రామచంద్ర రెడ్డి గారిని వేదికపైకి సగౌరవంగా సవినయంగా ఆహ్వానిస్తున్నాం.